Hi there, cats and kittens! Speaking of Western accents, today I will be reviewing True Grit, a Paramount picture. It's directed by the Coen brothers, Ethan and Joel, and it stars Jeff Bridges as U.S. Marshal Rooster Cogburn, Matt Damon as Texas Ranger LeBoeuf, Josh Brolin as the villain of the piece, Tom Chaney, and Haley Steinfeld as Maddie Ross. Now, this is not a remake of the John Wayne film, but rather another adaptation of the novel. And from what they've said in interviews, it's actually, the Coen brothers have indicated that's actually closer to the book. Now, here's the thing. Let's start with the performances. Now, Jeff Bridges is excellent as this legendary lawman who is renowned for his ability to hunt down criminals, and especially being fluent in Native American territories. But because of alcohol, he's really now a shadow of his former self. Matt Damon as kind of this over-the-top, extremely charismatic Texas Ranger who maybe believes the legend of the Texas Ranger is a bit too much, is also excellent. Josh Brolin, unfortunately, he's neither menacing nor terrifying, and so I think you could have put any actor in that role and they would have done just as well. Now, the person who is outstanding, who I'm sure will get an Oscar nomination, is Haley Steinfeld as Maddie Ross. And she plays a character who is a child on the way to becoming a woman who is forced to really take on a role that makes her wise beyond her years, who's simply, and I guess the best adjective would be determined. She is determined to bring her father's killer to justice. And she is engaging, the camera loves her, and really she's just a joy to watch. And I'm really looking forward to what future roles she chooses. Now let's go back to the story. Now the story is very simply, Maddie Ross's dad has been murdered over nothing, and the town seems okay with it. So in getting Rooster Cogburn, who is legendary for being so tough, for having true grit, meaning toughness, they go off to pursue him and also discover that this Texas Ranger, LeBoeuf, who that's the IMDb spelling of the character's name, but they do call him LeBeef in the film. They all discover, they go on this journey. And by the way, to be fair, neither Cogburn nor LeBeef want to take the child along, but she is determined to see that this criminal, this murderer, is brought to justice in her home state. So in this film, we see the characters versus nature and the characters versus themselves, and also speaks to the higher theme of vengeance versus justice. Now, vengeance is a very personal thing. It's a very small thing, and it seeks to address our personal hurts, our sense of being wounded, and it's just a very personal thing, where justice is in service to a higher ideal. You catch the criminal, you see that they're prosecuted fairly, and they can no longer hurt anyone else. And it's funny because vengeance will always hurt you. And so we find out that all the main characters are hurt because they are pursuing vengeance. And as a result, it really kind of strikes a point that it's better to pursue justice than vengeance, which is hard because they're not the same thing. And if someone were to hurt my family or someone I loved, I would want to seek vengeance, and that's a terrible thing. You never leave unscathed when you pursue vengeance. Now, being that we live in a city, we forget what a beautiful country we live in, but the scenes out in nature are just outstanding, and the music so well supports this. I think this film will get multiple Oscar nominations, and the story is engaging. It had me entranced from beginning to end, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm giving this film a solid A. I highly recommend you go see it, and I just think you're going to enjoy it immensely. Alright guys, take care now. Bye.